Hello and welcome to the video. I am Louis Robinson and you are watching Midwich TV. As you can see, we're shaking things up in this video and we've taken a trip down to Innovation House, our demo facility located in Bracknell. The reason for that is because this video is all about what is under the hood here at the demo centre to see what keeps everything running day to day and allows all of that technology to communicate with each other. The other thing we're shaking up, it's not just me in the video. Joining me, I have Brett from Netgear.
Hey Louis, thanks for having me.
No problem at all. So today we're going to take a wander around and we're going to look at the technology on the surface, but learn about what's underneath, keeping it running each and every day. So should we go take a look?
Awesome, let's go take a look.
Perfect. As you can see where we walk around, we've broken the centre into effectively little zones of showcasing and helping people visualise where tech would typically sit. Now over here we have our broadcast section. Talk to us a little bit about where Netgear would fit into like a broadcast deployment.
Sure thing. So we like to see ourselves as the enabler. So you'll have your different aspects. So you'll have your camera, your screens, your vMix, etc. And with the switch being the enabler, we allow all those devices to connect to each other both seamlessly and fluidly.
Now, I don't know about you, but when it comes to deployments, for me, be that a one-off deployment or kit that I regularly have to take from different places to one another, cable management for me is the worst part about it. How does Netgear help with this?
So we have, on all our switches, we have PoE, which is power over Ethernet. Essentially that allows the devices, such as cameras, to be powered by the switch and not need their own power cable. So reducing the clutter and of course giving data and power to all your cameras.
Switches. Whenever I talk switches as well, the first thing that people say to me is IT. Is this not an IT product? Do I not need to be an IT certified individual to be able to get this kind of kit up and running?
That's mainly the reason why we produced our AV line, was to bridge the gap between AV and IT essentially. So we've made the experience from out the box to deploy it as easy as possible, simple as possible, and of course have the shortest learning curve as possible. So anyone from the back garden to a full production can get it up and running nice and easily and reliably.
Nice, and we've got the Netgear switch just here. Can you tell us which one we've got in the rack here?
In this one here, we've got the 4210 PX, so that has 10 gig uplinks and 10 PoE ports, so that's actually powering pretty much everything that you see here.
Amazing. Well, this section of the centre is pretty cool, but one of my favourites is the cinema. So we should take a walk over there and take a look in there and then tell people about where Netgear fits into like a home deployment as well.
Great, let's go take a look.
Take a look.
Cheers.
Now, it's not often I get to kick back in a recliner in a cinema and talk technology, so today is a good day.
Definitely is.
There's lots in front of us here. This is our fully fledged home cinema style setup at Innovation House. We've got projection screens, we've got lights, we've got speakers, we've got control systems. Where does Netgear fit into all of that?
So essentially the Netgear would be the heart of the system. So basically all 5 sensors, from what you see, what you feel, what you hear, and what you see. So the control, the lighting, the sound is all going back to a Netgear switch and all being controlled and powered essentially from that switch.
And unfortunately, I don't have one of these at home. I'd love it, and I'm working on it, but I'm unfortunately not allowed one. We do see this type of solution going into residential markets quite a lot. The home automation piece, all things like that. Netgear, do you see going into that residential market, or is it more of a corporate?
Definitely since the pandemic, the residential side has grown exponentially, with people spending more time at home and having access to be able to put something as amazing as this inside their own home.
We did talk earlier about how easy the kit is to deploy. When this goes into the residential market though, and you've got loads of people at home using your kit, what's the support like on that? Are they finding it comfortable to look after that kit, or does Netgear have a support line in place to make sure people are comfortable?
Bit of both actually. Again, as we mentioned earlier, the switch is built from the ground up to be very easy to use with a very small learning curve. So anyone who has the slightest bit of knowledge can get it set up and working and maintain it. But for those that don't, there is a fully supported Pro AV team that's there to help and support anyone using our switches.
Nice one. Now we should probably take a walk over to the rack outside so we can show people what your switches look like and a little bit of the connectivity piece there to give that visualization. But I don't know about you. No one on the video can see this. John holding the camera. On your way out, mate, if you could just kick the lights. We're going to be here for an hour and a half. We're going to watch a movie. Yeah. Make the most of it, right?
Yeah, let's do it. Why not?
Let's do it. Go on then, John, if you don't mind, mate. Now, as nice as it would be to sit in the cinema all day, people are going to see this, so we should probably get back to filming the video.
Of course, yeah.
Now, at the front of the centre, this is our first rack. So it's probably a good idea we take a look in here and see what's going on. From a perspective of what's going on the techie front, nice shiny end, this is powering a lot of our command and control centre. But to the average eye, this is spaghetti junction. So what in the rack are we looking at here?
So here we've got all the different pieces of equipment that make the Innovation House work. So from video, audio, command, control, and all of that is coming back to our Netgear switch. So essentially, to make life easier, we've got profiles on our switch. So if you need control, data, audio, video, you essentially apply that profile to the port that's going to that piece of equipment, and that'll do all the config for you. And those profiles are essentially certified and tried and tested with those different manufacturers just to make sure that they work.
Cool, nice. And there's lots of cables in here, and they do look different to me. They don't all look the same. What is that from a perspective of not understanding at all?
Yeah, sure. So in this rack specifically, we've got a lot of fiber. Fibers, what you'd normally see running longer distances, pushing higher speeds, more data. So if you're pushing a lot more video traffic, for example, you'd preferably use that. And then we've got our copper, which is the black cables there, which is typically what you'd see around your house, running in your walls or on your little home router. So that's good for short distances or linking up the equipment together. So a mix and match of both of which can terminate into our switch.
Cool, and let's think about that residential market again. If I saw this in my house, I'd be terrified the dog or cat was going to get on the end of one of these cables and rip them out. Is there something that you do in the residential market maybe to hide spaghetti junction a little bit and make me feel a bit more comfortable?
Yeah, there definitely is. So when you have such a nice cinema room, as we were just in, some people want to hide this away, some people want to show it off. They spend all this money, let me show off this fancy equipment that I've invested in. So what we can do with our switches, they can be reverse mountable, so then it hides all the spaghetti junction at the back and leaves all the pretty lights, a nice fancy front end up the front, so that A, your dog isn't going to chew it, and B, it looks a little bit tidier.
Now, before I get too engrossed by the flashing lights, I'm terrible for it. As soon as I see it, I have to have a play with it. I'm going to close the door before I get in trouble and cause some problems. Now that we're a safe distance away from flashing lights and cables and anything that can get me into trouble,
I would save you, so no worries.
Let's talk partnerships, right? Because Innovation House, the whole point of a tour here is to show end users and our reseller partners how technology can come together. Netgear, you partner with a lot of resellers and you also partner with a lot of vendors, right?
We do, yeah. At the moment, we run around 200 vendors and manufacturers, so we partner with them directly, so we've got a relationship with them. We've certified that our equipment works well with theirs, that their equipment works well with ours, that's reliable, efficient. And that's kind of the approach, the collaborative approach that we've gone for really at Netgear, is creating those relationships from the manufacturer, the vendor, all the way down to the customer when it comes to making life easier, making life simpler, and making sure everything integrates well with each other and just having the right people there to make the AV over IP realm run smoothly.
Nice, and it's nice for us working with Netgear because you're only a stone's throw away, right?
That's right, you shout, I'll be down.
Perfect, because I know if I'm ever given a tour and I need that AV over IP element, I'll definitely be bringing you in. Cool. So we can introduce you to more partners, hopefully.
Great stuff, happy in.
Perfect. On that piece though, of booking in tours here and coming down to Innovation House, if you're watching the video and you haven't done it yet and you're interested in coming down, definitely have a word with your account manager. They can get you in here for an all-purpose tour, or they can get you in to look at kit specifically with the right experts too. So we can definitely get Brett down so you can get some hands-on with Netgear and Brett on site.
Definitely count me in, I'll be here.
Perfect. Also, Midwich do have a connectivity team as well. So if Brett is out busy in the field like he usually is, we do have a team internally that can help out from a specialist point of view. Don't forget though, like, comment, subscribe here on the YouTube channel. I'm Louis, you've been watching Midwich TV. Hit that bell notification icon, stay up to date with all of the latest content. But for now, me and Brett, we're gonna go watch the rest of that movie, right?
Cool, let's go.
Let's go.
Cheers.